Prestige Curb Appeal. We do residential and commercial pressure washing. We do everything from roofs, houses, and driveways. Commercial-wise, we do shopping centers, parking lots, everything, you name it. It really helps and makes you feel good and increases the property value. Give me a call, 865-621-1004. We'd love the opportunity to give you a quote, come out and see your house, even look at your driveway.
All right, good morning. Happy Friday. That's got a nice little ring to it, doesn't it, my friends? Good morning, Lee. We've got Linda, Julie, and Christy. Christy says, Happy Friday. Yeah, it's got a nice little ring to it. The bad part is, ladies and gentlemen, is that, we're talking about the risk for severe storms today, tomorrow, and, the Storm Prediction Center has put us under a risk level for Sunday as well. So I'm going to show you the big picture coming up here in just a second. Let's take you out to Hardin Valley here this morning and show you what that looks like. And a nice, beautiful sunrise taking shape here in Hardin Valley and across all of East Tennessee. Speaking of which, I do like to talk about the numbers from the previous day. Yesterday, we made it to 86 degrees. And I always like to keep you in check. I was forecasting 87 degrees. Now, we didn't pick up any rainfall for the most part. We had a couple of afternoon thunderstorms yesterday. When you look at your rainfall from yesterday anyways. Let's see if we can get that on the screen here. And that would be there. You can see north of Interstate 40 had a few showers and a few thunderstorms. All right, I want to show you the big picture, okay? You hear me talk about waves of energy. What we're looking at is vorticity. It's mid-level spin and energy in the atmosphere. There's little disturbances, okay? We have that zonal flow that I've been talking about all week long, which means the air is generally speaking moving from west to east. No major kinks in the upper level pattern, if you will. But notice the reds and the yellows and the oranges swing across the state of Tennessee. There's our first round. That's today and tonight. There's our next round. That's tomorrow into Sunday. There's another round, Sunday into Sunday night. So these little waves of energy, depending on the timing of them, is what's going to spark. That's our spark, if you will. The fuel to the fire is the instability and the moisture that we have in place. But because these little waves are going to be swinging on through, and we do have an unstable atmosphere developing, the Storm Prediction Center has put a risk level of a 1 and 2 anyways, today, tomorrow into Sunday, Sunday into Monday for our entire region. All right, don't worry. Hold on. Stand by. I'm going to break everything down coming up here in just a second. Going to need a cup of coffee. By the way, grab a cup of coffee for this forecast. We got a lot to talk about here this morning. Should have said that. Kind of buried the lead on that one, didn't I? All right, my friends. Here we go. Friday through Sunday. Damaging wind, torrential rain. I'm talking about torrential rain, very efficient rain producers. And yes, there is a tornado potential, but let's not concentrate on that for now. There is also a flood and flash flood concern as each wave progressively passes us by, because each wave is going to be water loaded and drop a lot of rain in a very short amount of time. Temperatures this morning, mild and muggy. We're in the 60s and 70s. You can kind of feel you've felt the humidity really pick up here over the last couple of days. Dew points are in the low to mid 60s. There's our fuel. We need dew points past 55 degrees really to get thunderstorms. And then you start to get dew points in the mid 60s. And there's your fuel. Okay. Now we've got a lot of instability or buoyancy in the atmosphere. And then we bring that disturbance, the spark, that kicks off the fire, if you will. So there's our local level for the day today. This is today to tomorrow from the Storm Prediction Center. There's our level 1 and 2, but generally speaking, a level 2 risk for severe storms. So let's break down that risk level for the day today. We'll go from 2 p.m. till basically midnight. There is a chance for some thunderstorms during the overnight hours, but I think our severe threat is from 2 p.m. to midnight and more likely closer to 6, 7, and 8 o'clock here tonight. Thunderstorms will start to fire off right around 2 o'clock this afternoon, but the severe thunderstorms probably won't be likely or more prevalent or better to form, I should say, anytime after about 5 or 6, okay? So something to kind of keep in mind there. I was talking to my wife. She's heading to the Smokies baseball game here tonight. By the way, if you're heading off to the Smokies baseball game here tonight or looking for something to do, that's going on. I was like, well, they may not be playing tonight, babe. Anyways, from 2 p.m. to midnight, medium category when it comes to damaging winds. That's the main threat. The secondary main threat is going to be the flooding and flash flood concern with each progressive wave. So I'm going to put that in the medium category. I think any of those flood-prone areas have a potential here just through the day today, or tonight anyways, Not likely when we're talking tornadoes, not likely when we're talking hail. Why? I talked about it yesterday. The freezing level is way too high, so therefore we can't get hail to form, but therefore the atmosphere becomes very water loaded. Our cloud tops could reach 45,000 feet throughout the day today. So the higher those clouds build up, the more rain they're going to produce and the better potential for severe storms. So let's walk you through the futurecast. As I mentioned, we got a lot to talk about this morning. I want you to be prepared on what's going on. So here's noon today. This is my in-house model, by the way. I kind of was going back and forth on which model to choose. Do I show you the HRRR? Do I show you my in-house model? I chose my in-house model, so take it with a grain of salt. But the general idea is there. I think from noon to 3, we start to see a few thunderstorms develop. But I don't think we're going to have any severe potential at that point. From 3 to 7, here comes our severe potential. Now we've heated up the atmosphere. We'll see some spotty showers and thunderstorms ahead of kind of the cluster of thunderstorms, if you will. That's going to be swinging its way anytime after about 7 through about midnight. But I do think that there is still that severe weather risk through about midnight tonight. And a tornado risk as well, but not as likely today as it will be tomorrow. So all the way through tomorrow morning, we're likely to pick up anywhere from, say, 1/4 of an inch of rain to 1/2 an inch, to maybe even pockets of over 1.5 inches of rain in some locations. So that's why I said flooding and flash flooding concerns are going to start to elevate a little bit more. Let me keep going, shall I? I'm trying to keep an eye on the questions, but I want you to be prepared for the weekend, so I'm just going to keep on going. We can chat at the end, and I'll tell you about my little Witcher's adventures here this morning with my little puppy dog. Stay tuned for that. Plus, of course, we got national holidays coming up as well. All right, so forecast high temperatures today will be trending about, say 3 to 5 degrees above average. We're going to be in the mid-80s. Here's our severe weather risk for the day tomorrow. Saturday into early Sunday morning. So this goes from 8 o'clock in the morning Saturday through 8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. We are all under a level 2 risk. Vera says it's foggy over the lake here. Where's here? Where is here, Vera? Let's say that 10 times fast. I forget exactly where you live, and of course other folks might want to know. All right, here we go. So our storm threats for Saturday, again, basically between 2 p.m. and about midnight or so. Medium category for damaging wind, medium category for flooding and flash flooding concerns, although that's going to start to elevate a little bit. But I did put tornadoes in as there is a chance rather than not likely like today. So there is a tornado potential as we head through the late evening hours on Saturday night versus what we will experience for the night tonight. All right, so let's walk you through that forecast. Again, we're talking about these little waves of energy. We start off probably wet around the area, maybe some patchy dense fog, depending on how much clearing we have. But I don't think we're going to have necessarily rainy conditions early Friday morning. Then Friday afternoon, here's 3 o'clock in the day. Another little wave of energy swings on through. So there's another wave. And then we keep going. Let's go Saturday night into Sunday morning. Here's another little wave of energy. And I think those are the ones that could spark off some isolated, strong, or severe thunderstorms as well. So now you add today's rainfall into tomorrow all the way into Sunday morning. And now we're talking about 1-2 pockets of maybe 3 inches of rain. But again, it doesn't stop there. Because on Sunday, now of course I can't really show you a lot of futurecast modeling for Sunday, but on Sunday, I think we'll have isolated afternoon thunderstorms. I don't think we're going to have a cluster of thunderstorms per se, but I think isolated afternoon thunderstorms, and those also could lead to some isolated, stronger, severe storms. So we'll keep you posted on that. Rain chances do come down Sunday into our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So when you highlight your 7-day forecast, today's going to be the warmest day on the 7 days. Then we're back down to those seasonal averages for the most part. Severe storms today and tomorrow, isolated to nature on Sunday, and then we'll see more showers and thunderstorms Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So, whoo. Am I done talking yet? I'm sorry. I just talked for 15 minutes. But I want you to understand. Listen, it's Friday. I want you to understand exactly how the weather is going to play out. So if you have any questions about the forecast, please fire away. I did send a push alert, so hopefully a lot of folks are joining on the app this morning. And if you are, welcome, or even on the website at easttnweather.com. And I know a lot of folks are joining on social media as well this morning. But wanted to keep everybody up to date and see how things are going. How will these storms affect the Vols baseball game in Arkansas Saturday evening? Ooh, that's a good question. That is a great question, and I bet I could give you a quick answer here, I think, and I might be able to show it to you as well. So So let's just go to the maps. I'm going to do something for y'all in case you are curious about the game itself, and then we'll move the forecast. So again, I'll just take you out to the big picture. This is our future cast. I'll pick Saturday morning up. We're Arkansas. So there's Arkansas at 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. There's noon on Saturday. So noon. So I think the game's in the evening, right? So there's 9 o'clock Arkansas. So of course I don't have the cities on there, but Arkansas is centered in the screen. There's midnight. So we are going to have storms late evening, probably through the overnight hours in Arkansas, but not quite sure what time the game is. So if you know what time the game is, Ken, let me know. All right. Thick fog right now in Cherokee Lake. I appreciate that. Let me check in some of my cameras, see if I have any fog along the lakes in West Knoxville. And I don't have any fog along the lakes in West Knoxville right now. This is Fort Loudon Dam, so no fog there. But again, we had more rain showers north of Interstate 40, so up towards Cherokee Lake. So definitely a better chance for seeing some early morning fog up across parts of the northern lakes. North Sharps Chapel. So there we go. That kind of goes in line with the Cherokee Lake and the fog up there. Not to mention that's where we had the better chance for rain. Let's see. Michelle says, friends in from out of town, try to make it on the lake today. Jet skis. Lenore City area, think we will be okay if we go early enough in the afternoon. Yeah, I think you'll be good enough. I think we could have a few spotty showers, but I think most of it's going to be later on this evening, Michelle. But I know you're going to be on jet skis. Make sure you have that waterproof case and, of course, the East Tennessee weather app. And listen, if you're out on the lake and the skies are looking dark, just go to the app. Remember, and go to the interactive radar. That gives you past, current, and future radar. And again, today's a great day to highlight the app itself, because I really want folks to understand that, listen, the app is a great tool to have in your hands, in your toolbox, if you will. For those of you that are joining on social media and don't have the app, this is what the app looks like. There's a wealth of things that you can do with the app, and I try to train you all the time, because I can't expect you to know how to use the app. It took me a while to learn how to use the app. I do a couple things. I do a 1 minute with Witcher on the top left-hand side of the screen and a full forecast. If you want your traditional TV-style forecast, there it is with your full forecast. If you just want 1 quick minute, it's shot vertically like for a cell phone, like social media. But what I want you to understand, though, is make sure you allow push notifications and location services with the app. The interactive radar is going to be a great tool. Here it is. A couple of things I want to point out for you. The interactive radar, I've got watches and warnings on here. I have the surface map on here. But remember that it gives you past, current, and future radar 2 hours. So let me just highlight these storms, see if it works. Sometimes it doesn't work on the computer. But say we've got storms out there, and that's what they're looking like. So you push play, there's your past 2 hours on the interactive radar, and there's your future cast of 2 hours. See, that's why I'm saying if you're out on the lakes or out at the ballparks, or if you are heading up and doing some camping or whatever you may be doing, that 2 hour future cast is based on what's going on right now, and that's going to be a great tool. Is it perfect? Is it exact? No, absolutely not. It's a model based on what's going on right now and the forward motion of the storms, but it gives us a great idea. If you click the cogwheel on the top right-hand side of the screen, there's a ton of stuff. You can get Storm Prediction Center information, but one thing I wanted to point out is if you go to overlays, make sure that you have lightning checked. Also, make sure you have storm tracks checked. And those are the kind of things, and even it's hurricane season. So listen, if you want the National Hurricane Center's track, you can add that. And we just recently have had an earthquake. So of course we've got earthquakes on the app itself. So there's a wealth of weather information, but again, it's only as good as you allow it to be, i.e. allow notifications and location services if you travel out and about for your job frequently. All right, we do have a little bit of fog showing up right now in downtown Clinton. That's a live look in Anderson County this morning. It looks rather damp. Like it's almost raining there, but there's nothing showing up on radar. Now I'm looking at the radar here real quick. There's nothing showing up on radar, but doesn't that look crazy damp? Like, what? Like, what? I'm just looking at it real quick to see if we had like a nice little shower come through Anderson County. Not over the last hour or so. Anyways, I am on a tangent. I digress. Let's move right along, shall we? Today, by the way, is June 6th. And so on June 6th, we like to celebrate birthdays and events. And I have to give my dad, Steve Witcher, a big shout out this morning on East Tennessee Weather and Wake Up with Witcher. Happy birthday, Dad. I sure do love you so much. I'll call you later today as well. And if you're celebrating a birthday, then you celebrate with my dad. All right. It's D-Day, by the way. D-Day, June 6th. How about that? So we've got today is D-Day. I forgot about that. It's National Eyewear Day. How many of you wear glasses or contacts? And if you've been part of the East Tennessee Weather Platforms for quite some time, you know that I've had some eye issues. I went and had my LASIK redone, i.e. PRK. It turned out awful. I had issues with that. And lo and behold, I'm still wearing, readers, but still a single contact in my left eye. But it's National Eyewear Day, so there's my eyewear because I do wear it. All right, it's National Higher Education Day, and of course, we've had a lot of graduates here recently. It's National Donut Day. How about that? I mean, come on. Who doesn't love themselves a good donut? Boston cream. Those are some of my favorites. I love apple fritters. I like cake donuts. I like I like donuts. I don't really like them a lot. I can't eat a lot of them, and I won't eat them very often. But man, every once in a while, I will take down some donuts. It's National It's National Applesauce Cake Day. By the way, any applesauce cake makers out there? Eva says, I wear glasses. There we go. Really foggy, says Sharon, in Kentucky. In Aegis, Kentucky this Friday morning. Well, happy Friday morning to Aegis, Kentucky. It's National Drive-In Movie Day. Oh, I mean, listen, this is a lost art, isn't it? Lost a fun time. It's not totally lost. We do have still some drive-in movie theaters. I know there's one down in Maryville. I believe it's still open. I don't know if you have any drive-in movie theaters in your area. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. It's National Gardening Exercise Day. Gardening is a lot of exercise. Farmers, gardeners, doesn't matter. That is a lot of hard work and good exercise. So maybe you're going to get out and do some gardening today. Good idea to do it a little bit earlier. Watch those storms later on today. And here's a good one. Today is the National Day of the Yo-Yo. Oh my gosh, who does? I used to be really good. Not like competition style good, but I used to be really good at the yo-yo. Those are your national holidays. Foggy, cloudy, damp over in Clinton this morning. But now let's take you down to KMNV, Monroe County Airport. A beautiful sunrise taking shape, dry and not foggy in Monroe County Airport. All right, my friends, I have to tell you a story here before I let you go for the day. Betty, never be sorry. You got to take care of your animals. Sorry I left. I had to feed the cats. Mel says she loves drive-in movies. Miss those. Yeah, but with the quality and the technology that we have these days, I feel like, I mean, listen, I like watching TV outside. I do. So drive-in movies like, get in the back of your pickup truck, grab some blankets. It's great. Happy birthday to your wife and her twin, says Jerry. Jerry, happy birthday to your wife. Big shout out to your wife and her twin. That's really cool. But I don't know. It's nice to be outside to watch TV. I do like that. But I think technology has come so far, it's hard to really see if we should or should not. Anyways, your husband has a yo-yo. I misread that at first, by the way, Betty. I thought you were going to say your husband is a yo-yo. I am a yo-yo. By the way, okay, so quick Witcher's Adventures story here this morning before I let you go. And then if you're joining on the app and you missed a little bit of the forecast, or if you're joining on social, you missed some of the forecast, of course, I'm going to send everybody back to the 24-hour weather channel here momentarily. But so every single morning I get up and get out of bed, I tiptoe out of the house, I get a cup of coffee, whatever, right? When I leave our bedroom, our dogs are crated. For some reason, they're in our bedroom now. But anyways, our dogs are crated. I get them out of the crate so my wife doesn't have to deal with them and the kids and trying to do all the things. I just bring them to the studio. So that's why they hang out with me in the studio. But they're not in the studio this morning. So when I come out of the house, I walk my 10, 15 feet, 20 feet to the studio. Let the dogs go to the bathroom, right? So they go to the bathroom and they're good. I leave the studio door open. Once they're done, they come in, they get a treat, and then I close the studio door and they lay down. Well, one of them, Stella, the older one, she's like only 4, isn't coming back. So I leave the door open. I'm forecasting. I'm doing all my things. Stella, whistling. Stella, come here. I got a treat for you. Still not coming back. I'm like, well, she'll come back. She does it every once in a while. She comes back. She comes back soppy and wet. So I'm like, okay, she's not that much of an adventurous dog. The other one is. Lucy is. Okay, you're probably in the woods. We live back against some woods. And so it's dewy outside, right? So maybe you're traipsing through the woods. So you're sopping wet. Oh, no. Might she have been traipsing through the woods? Yes, maybe. Did she get sprayed by a skunk? Absolutely. My studio stinks. Subtle, but strong enough. It stinks like a skunk. So then I'm like, okay, I can't keep them in here. What am I going to do with dogs? We've got some chains, some leashes type things to, for the front yard so they can hang out with us in the front yard. I was like, I'm not going to do that. Then they're in the front yard by themselves. Well, we have a back screen and porch. We don't have great furniture out there, not worried about it, but lo and behold, that's where they are. So now we have to do skunk cleanup work. And she's probably going to sleep by herself for a little while. That's my story for the day today. We sure hope you have a great day. By the way, my husband has it. Okay, I thought you were. I was going back to the chat again. Here we go. Good morning. What will it be for dinner? Ooh, Tom. Showers and storms are going to be increasing, Tom. Check in on your noon update, and of course, I'll keep you up to date. I will probably do my noon update live. I will probably do my 6 p.m. update live as well, just to make sure everybody's aware of what's going on. Remember, we have a risk for severe storms today, tomorrow, and even Sunday. All modes of severe weather, so for the most part, are on the table. Hail's not really a major threat. Torrential downpours, efficient rain producers, gully washers. And as each wave moves on through, that could produce localized flooding and flash flood concerns. Damaging wind's going to be the main threat. But Saturday, we do have a small, but still a chance of a tornado potential. So I'll definitely keep you posted on that. All right, my friends, have a great day. Be safe, be kind to each other. Wake Up with Witcher on Saturday morning is at 8 o'clock, as well as Sunday morning. Until then, have a great day. Be safe, be kind to each other. Life is short. Watch out for those storms, and I'll keep you posted. Check back in.